I'm Scott Munn, along with Tug Coward in the Warrior Alliance Network studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Today we'll meet Dr. Takosha Swan, a veteran who's had tremendous success after service. Specialist Swan served in the U.S. Army for 5 years during Operation Iraqi Freedom in Kuwait and Iraq, and then she served in the Georgia Army National Guard during Hurricane Katrina. Dr. Swan was appointed to the board of the Georgia Department of Veteran Services by Governor Brian Kemp in 2019. And that's just the beginning of her story, and we're going to tell it today with Dr. Takosha Swan. Welcome to the Warrior Alliance Network.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is always great to have somebody that cares about our veterans and is a veteran themselves. Love what Brian Kemp has been doing for our veterans.
Absolutely.
And it's such an honor for him to ask you to be a part of the Georgia Department of Veteran Service Board.
Yes.
What's your role there? What do you do?
Okay, so the board, it is our responsibility to oversee the Georgia Department of Veteran Service. There are policies in place to ensure that our veterans in Georgia are taken care of, and not just the veterans, but also their families. And so the board, there are 7 of us appointed by the governor, and he appointed us to represent him in overseeing our agency for the state, for veterans, to take care of our veterans in the state. So I travel all throughout the state and actually work with our local governments to help them to engage the veterans in their communities. For example, in Conyers, I had a reception with the mayor, and we did a reception to bring in the veterans in the city of Conyers to, first of all, have a relationship with the mayor, to feel like, okay, I am a part of the community. You feel like you're a part of the community when you know the public officials in the community.
Yes, ma'am.
To get on email lists and to find out, what's going on, so that the veterans can interact within the community, because many times when we leave the military, and because the military was our community and was our family, it's hard to transition into the civilian world and into the community where your house is, but you really weren't there. And so I travel all around Georgia to make sure that the veterans are connected into their communities, and we make sure that policies are being enforced for the Georgia Department of Veteran Services. We make sure that the war homes in Augusta and Millersville are taken care of as well.
There you go. That's a big responsibility, Scott.
It sure is. With Georgia having over 600,000 veterans, as you know, it's a big responsibility. And I just wonder, is the board making an impact? Do you feel like you've had any changes that you've been able to implement in the overall strategy to improve support for our veterans here in Georgia?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things that we've done, like in the past couple of years, is our new commissioner. So the board, we also vote in the commissioner. So we actually choose who the commissioner is for the Georgia Department of Veteran Service. So our commissioner right now is Patricia Ross, and she was actually a board member before she became the commissioner.
She's cool. We've had her on the show before. She's really great.
Yeah, Trish is a very hard worker. I don't know when Trish, if she ever stops. I think while she's sleeping, she's like dreaming about it.
Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she does a fantastic job. She has done a great job in just the executive team. She has restructured the executive team. She has been able to work with the governor when it comes to the budget, and we've been able to approve budgets that for funds that we've never received in the past for veterans. And she's been able to put meaning to what we're asking for from the state to make sure that the veterans are taken care of, and the war homes are taken care of, and things that we weren't able to do for years have happened now. And so there's definitely been a huge impact with the board and working with the commissioner and the executive team.
You keep mentioning the war homes. I'm not familiar with that.
I was about to ask the same question.
Yeah, tell us about the war homes. What are those?
Okay, so these are our veteran homes. So these are where our veterans stay. We have one in Augusta and we have one in Milledgeville. And so these are our veterans who went to war. And it is a nursing home specifically for our veterans, and these war homes are funded by the state. And so we make sure that these war homes are staffed. So pretty much everything that would go into a regular nursing home, we do it for the war homes, except it is specifically for veterans. And the state of Georgia, we take care of the veterans in our
That's good news. I like to hear that.
I bet you that mess hall runs on time.
Son, I mean, they act right in there. So I want to go back to the beginning. Talk to us and the folks listening. Talk to us about your experience in the Army, but especially that time you had in the Middle East, the deployments that you did.
Yes. So I enlisted in the Army at the age of 17. I was still in high school, and they had a delayed entry program.
Right? Delayed entry program.
Yes,
I remember.
We could go ahead and enlist while we were seniors in high school. So I did that. And so at the age of 18, I graduated in June and I was gone in July. That was 2000. And was shipped over to Fort Jackson and had my training there, basic training and AIT. And, a couple years later, a year later, here comes 9/11. And I was on Fort Benning. We were sitting in the office. I worked in S1, which is Human Resources. And so we would have the radio on so that we could have a piece of the civilian world while we were in the office.
Yeah, sure.
And everything stopped. And the radio host began to talk about airplanes, and we just froze. Everyone in the office, we just froze. Like, what is going on? And a year and a half later, we were in Iraq. So at first we went to Kuwait. We actually left on Valentine's Day. I'll never forget it because we were thinking, oh, maybe we'll get to stay, here for one more Valentine's Day before we go. No, February 14th.
When Uncle Sam calls.
We were shipped off. We actually went to Iraq actually in the C-130. I think I was sitting right by the engine for many hours. So,
was it loud or hot or both?
All of that.
Yeah,
all of that.
All the above. Check all the boxes.
Not exactly Delta first class.
No.
On the way home, we did receive that on the way home. But
okay, all right.
On the way there, I guess they wanted us to know that we were going to war.
Yeah, that's right. And it's going to be hot.
Yes. And so we went to Kuwait first. The war actually started in March, so we were in Kuwait preparing for the war. And so then, as they were fighting on the front lines, we began to, and we were taking over territory. We began to move from Kuwait into Iraq, and we actually went into Camp Talil, and there we were basically guarding borders. We were guarding the borders and making sure that the front lines, that nothing was getting to the front lines. So we were guarding their backs, basically.
Gotcha 6.
Yes. So that was, of course, we were in war, so it was a very trying time. I think it was more trying because we were the first group over there. It's the groups that come after because we build things up.
Yeah, established.
For them. So being there and all we had was what was on our backs. It was really just like basic training. I mean, it was tents,
bare bones,
and cots.
Yeah.
And we had. I always talk about the food that we were eating because we had MREs.
Yeah.
And for lunch and dinner, for lunch we would have MREs, And for breakfast, I call it a green eggs and ham because the eggs were green.
Yeah.
And I just called the food that actually went into the oven just a bigger MRE.
Yeah. Tastes about the same.
Yeah, that's what it was. But in the military, you're family because you live with each other. And, when you go to a foreign land, that's all you have. You just have each other and what's on your back.
Right. And in that environment, your family is who you got to look out for. I guess you do in civilian life too, but there's nothing like being in a situation where it is life or death. That's when blood gets thick as water.
Yes.
Or water gets thick as blood, whatever the old saying is. Blood is thicker than water, but all of a sudden everybody is around as blood relation. Everybody's looking out for each other. Everybody got each other's back.
That's right.
No, it's amazing. What do you think the greatest lesson that you learned in the military that prepared you for civilian life?
So many. There's so many. I want to say unity. And I say that because the military is the best organization that will teach you to put people and the mission of freedom over anything.
I love the way that sounds.
Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter about your nationality, your skin tone, where you're from, what country you're from. All of that goes out of the window. It does not matter. You will unify for the mission of freedom for our country. And that has allowed me to work and connect with people in any environment and care about people in any environment and find a commonality with people in any environment. So unity was one of the best things. In Iraq, I actually formed a choir over in Iraq. We had the Air Force across the sand road, and I was upset with them because they had real beds and air conditioning.
Yeah, stinking Air Force.
And they had real food.
Don't they always, the Air Force?
So I did sneak over to their dining facility a few times to get some real food.
There you go.
But I formed a choir. So we had, I had the Air Force and I had the Army. And we gathered in a tent. The chaplain's assistant actually brought a keyboard over, and we would have choir rehearsal in the tent. And on Sundays, we had our chapel tent was down the road. It's so funny. The choir was called Down the Road Choir.
Okay, that's perfect.
And so we would march down to the chapel tents on Sundays, and I would do the praise and worship before the chaplain came up to speak. And that really kept us mentally.
I'm sure.
You need something to keep you mentally, and it was the choir in my Bible that kept me mentally healthy.
Yes, ma'am. This is so encouraging. I love hearing these stories, and the story from your perspective is so wonderful today. This is exactly what we're looking for, Scott. This to me is a home run when you talk about how people come together in the most dire of situations.
Yeah, we love our veterans for the fact that you're right. It was unity, and all that really mattered was your oath to the Constitution and that flag on your shoulder. It didn't matter.
Gosh, the best.
Air Force, Army, whatever it was, just all together.
Yes.
And we're talking with Dr. Takosha Swan, and besides working with the governor and besides that military service, she's also been the successful owner and CEO of Business Women Consulting, and also the founder of her nonprofit organization, the Veteran Anthem, Inc. And she's been recognized with House Resolution 590 in the Georgia House of Representatives for composing and singing the Veteran Anthem, which honors the heroes of America and supports their mental health. She's also featured as the singer with the Alpharetta Symphony Orchestra.
Hey now.
And she honors veterans and their families in that way and has received numerous awards and recognition for her work. So you're most known in veteran circles as the amazing vocalist and writer of the Veteran Anthem.
Yes.
Tell us about that. How did that come about, and what inspired you to write that song?
Okay. Well, I'll start here. So I just mentioned that I formed the choir in Iraq. So I knew that music could bring mental health already from that experience. That is the skill that I have. I grew up in church. My grandfather's a pastor, and all I did was sing everywhere. In high school, I was in the a cappella choir. I was in the gospel choir. I was in the church choir.
I love that.
That's what I did. And so so singing and writing, that is a skill that has been ingrained in me. I was born singing. And so when I was appointed to the board in 2019, another, from D.C. Came a mandate for that the governor joined into, and it was to provide suicide prevention for veterans, service members, and their family members. And so they asked for a board member to join the team, and so I said yes and joined the team. I began to see the suicide rates among veterans and service members, and it was at that time that I actually said a prayer, and I wanted to know if there was something else that I could do to assist with reducing or eliminating suicide amongst people that I love. I'm a veteran. My father is a veteran, you know. And what came to me, honestly, it was just the Veteran Anthem. The name came to my mind, the Veteran Anthem. And I'm standing there in my house, and I'm thinking, is there an anthem for veterans? Right, because we have the national anthem. The national anthem salutes the flag. So when the national anthem comes on, as veteran service members, we salute the flag. But the Veteran Anthem was written to salute those who uphold the flag. So I wrote the Veteran Anthem to accompany the national anthem. So we sing the national anthem, and the veterans salute the flag, and then we turn around and we play the Veteran Anthem, and those who uphold the flag are saluted. And the lyrics of the Veteran Anthem, there's a message in the lyrics, and the message is to address suicide prevention. The message is to address mental health. And it says, give me a mission, give me a purpose, give me an assignment. I'm still worth it.
I love that.
I'm still your protector.
So great.
I'm still your winner. I'm still me. Because you can get lost
easily
in the military, because you have to put the military first. You have to put the country first. And so you can get lost on who you are and your mission, you know, after the military. And so I wrote the Veteran Anthem to remind us, veteran service members, and to help family members to remind veterans and service members that, no, you're still you. You're still powerful. You still have a life to live after the military.
And if you want to hear the Veteran Anthem, Veterans Anthem can be found on Spotify and at theveterananthem.org. Do you think that's expanded your message? Do you think people now have heard it, maybe not even realizing it was you that put it together? Has it become a way to support those veterans and their families, do you think?
Absolutely. This is something that can be shared all over the world. And that's what I love about just the internet and social media and music, because when this thought came to me to use this as suicide prevention and mental health, I'm thinking, you know what, let me create a video, and the video is on the website and it's also on YouTube, and let me create something that if someone has a veteran or a service member that is having a hard time, or a family member that is having a hard time in supporting their veteran and service member, here is a link that you can send anywhere. And this person can receive encouragement, they can receive a message, they can receive peaceful music behind it. And it was mentioned earlier that I also partnered with the Alpharetta Symphony Orchestra, and we do a concert, a free concert every year in Alpharetta, right behind the City Hall.
Alpharetta Green. I know it well.
Yes, and so we just had it on Memorial Day, and that was our 4th annual concert. So we've been doing it for 4 years now, and it's been amazing. I mean, people walk up to me with testimonies. People walk up to me crying. The song, it gives solutions. I'm very solution oriented, and it gives solutions.
I love that. Business Women Consulting. That's another one of your endeavors.
Yes.
Helping women who are also veterans and entrepreneurs. What kind of services do you offer? What do you do? How do you help?
So a lot of times as veterans, we need to start a business instead of getting a job because, sometimes when you get so far up there in rank and then you step into the civilian world and I think the civilians telling you what to do and being told what to do in the military, we don't see it the same.
No, that's right. I completely get that.
And so a lot of times it's time for us to create something ourselves. And it also allows us, as business owners to be able to help others. And so it gives you a mission and it gives you a purpose. And at the same time, it brings income into your home. And so it's about life after the military and building a business and having a mission after the military.
And you can find out more about that at businesswomenconsulting.com. I know you have a lot of advice. Obviously, you're going to consult to women who come to that website and come to you for assistance. But what is the key advice you would share here on the radio for folks listening, for women who want to build a business?
Yes. First of all, say yes, right? Because I know that the idea is in your mind. Say yes to that idea. That's the first thing. Because many times women come to me and they're not sure of how to go about the idea that is in their mind. The idea that is in your mind is your business, and so say yes to that. And once you say yes to that, come on over to Women Consulting, and I will help you to create a strategy to bring your business to life. So say yes to that idea that is in your head.
The power of yes, that's absolutely right. Another thing you said yes to is the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance is extremely active with the Georgia Department of Veterans Service, and Commissioner Ross is driving outreach for VA benefits and for veterans. How valuable do you think it's been to have this close collaboration between a state agency and a veteran service organization like the Warrior Alliance?
It's very important. It's very important to partner. Because every organization, we're reaching veterans in different areas for different groups. They come to us for different reasons. So they come to the agency for benefits. And so when we see an organization like the Warrior Alliance and what they're doing, and they have their group of veterans, and, I love how the Warrior Alliance has its own podcast, its, radio show, and they're highlighting veterans. That isn't something that we do at GDVS, but we can highlight veterans through the Warrior Alliance. And so all of these partnerships are very important. The Warrior Alliance will give veterans tickets to Brave games, and and we need to be able to go somewhere and just relax and have a good time. And so the Warrior Alliance has also done that. And so it's good to have this type of alliance and partnership, because it allows us to service our veterans further, because that is something that we don't do, so we can do more with that partnership for veterans.
Now, one thing that's very near and dear to my heart is military families. My father being a 20-year man and my mother being a 20-year military spouse.
Awesome.
So what advice do you have? I know you're a mother raising 3 children, I hear.
Yes.
Tell us your kids' names and tell us about them. And also, what advice do you have for mothers or military spouses? You got anything you want to say to them?
Yes. So, yes, I have 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. So Eden, my youngest girl, and my son, he's in the middle, Kenneth III, and my daughter, Lyric. Of course, one of them had to have
the musical name.
One of them had to have it. It had to happen. So, and tell me, what was the next question?
Oh, and I also wanted to know, do you have any advice to encourage mothers or military spouses, how they can stay involved in their communities, or what you would just say to them?
Absolutely. So I did a lot of volunteering. We talked about what I did in Iraq with the choir, but it was actually an extra duty that I had in the military. I was singing the national anthem from basic training all the way up until, I got out of the military, because we have award ceremonies. We had, during that time, we were beginning to celebrate other cultures. And so when they had events, we would always, whatever nationality it was, we always honored America first. And so I would always come and do the national anthem for all of those events as well. And so when I got out of the military, as a military spouse, which was another experience, because I was able to be actually a pretty good military spouse because I had been a soldier already, so I knew how to support him. And so I volunteered at he was in the National Guard, but he was AGR, so he was active. And I would volunteer singing the national anthem at their award ceremonies, their retirement ceremonies, the balls. I did all of that. And so I was able to bring lots of inspiration to his unit. That was something that they always looked forward to. They always requested it, and I really loved doing it at the retirement ceremonies after they had served, 20 years, like your parents. Mm-hmm. And so that was a duty that I've taken on. I guess I've never set that down. As we could see with the Veteran Anthem, I've never put that down. So I would encourage military spouses to volunteer in the units, get out in the community, and connect with other military spouses as well.
There you go. What a great thing to do. What a great experience you've had and shared. I don't think there's many people that give back as much as you do, and we appreciate you, Dr. Swan. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.